Arram. Right. Why do we want more then all the time?
Because we're a greedy lot, aren't we?
Yeah, I was going to say it's greed.
It's simple. We're never satisfied.
We're never satisfied, right? Okay.
We don't practice gratitude.
Grass is greener.
And we're buying into the mass consciousness, greedy people, destroying the planet.
I said we were brought up that way often by our, our parents or people around us, the society we live in, and after some time, it takes a while to break that pattern and not have expectation or needs, basically.
Okay.
The main thing is about practicing gratitude, isn't it? Being grateful for what you have on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I get that on a daily basis. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're really grateful for what you have, you're not going to be jealous about anybody.
And accept what is it?
Thank you.
Well, what is this? Whatever is being confronted to you in the now, is about accepting it and not trying to change it.
This is what I'm learning all the time when people.
Good. Next question. Come on, just build it up and then we'll get cracking.
Yeah, no, going back to just what Colin said, learning to be grateful. So I made the decision recently to move back to my mum's for a bit. And like the first week of moving back, I was like, oh shit, I'm moving back, like a step backwards. And I told myself, Aaron, shut up, like be grateful that you've got the option of going to a place. Like not many of your friends have that option. So just be grateful where you are, and yeah, whatever happens, happens.
Shit. I mean, there is a little present, isn't it?
Yeah. Just enjoy what is.
It's it, whatever there is in the present. And this is what we are striving to do, to live this simplistic life, to be in the present, to be forever grateful, and lead a very exciting life from moment to moment. What's so difficult about it? This is what the challenge I find with some of you say, I've lost it, I've lost it. I said, how have you lost it? Because everything you are creating it. Nobody can upset you. Nobody can trigger you. True or not true? My question to you is, why do you lose it?
Because we're not in the present.
Oh,
I think that's when
that's
when I lose it.
Okay, not in the present. What else? This is good to help because we're helping each other here.
because we compare to external.
Comparing, yes. Never satisfied.
Yeah, and we end up living in the future.
Yes. Envy is another one. Envy.
Jealousy.
Envy.
Yeah.
Is it our feelings and emotions create that as well?
No. Your thought creates your feelings.
Oh, right. I'm getting it now.
Yeah. Without a thought, you cannot have a feeling.
Okay.
I think the other one is expectations, because when our expectations are not met, which is again is the conditioning, because
it is all conditioning.
Yeah.
It's no use saying it's conditioning. It is all about conditioning. It's how we've been brought up, programmed by the masses, by our parents, by the country, by religion, everything. We are affected by it. And this is something which is so terrifying that, the slightest thought, the slightest movement, you get shifted without realizing it. I sympathize with some of you that you're going through your challenges. You're sitting down there and then you think of something, you're gone. Yeah. Which brings me to tonight's important lesson is you have no history, right? I've been working on this. Each and every moment, if you're a new person, yes, you must have no history. True or not true? If you are born, reborn each moment, you have no history. So if you have no history, where does the behavior patterns come from? If there's no history, so what are all those aspects of our programming that we're connected to, we get triggered by, we get reminded by? They're all aspects of somebody, which is part of us, but it is not part of us. We're connected to that aspect energetically. Everything is in the here and now. Questions?
So Arram, do we just like keep flicking? Say we drive past somewhere and then we just flick sort of leave and we just hang on to that memory as we're going down the road. How does it work then?
The memories are only made in the present. So memories you create in the now of an incident, yes, of an aspect of you from what we call the past. Because in linear world, it is the past. But in fact, it's all happening now. Because we live in the physical world, we have to say, that's the past, that's the future. But when you understand that you are really born each moment, any thought that comes in, you can correct it straight away. It's an aspect of me I'm connected to, but it's not me. I can change it. But because the link is so strong.
It's correcting it straight away, though, isn't it?
Well, that's what we're trying to get to.
To know
that you've gone into a loop.
Okay.
This is when we go into that chatterbox stance, with stories come in, and then you get connected, all the nonsense that goes with it, and the next thing you know, you shifted into the future, you shifted into a state. Questions, please.
So it's kind of like in the matter of training your mind, because I'm doing this experiment now, what the group knows. I'm writing down all the judging thoughts, and then I cross them out. But what I notice, I catch them instantly, but they still come, right?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's kind of like you train it, and now I'm being really rude. Every time this judgy thought comes, I just say F off, like, because it's just I want to immediately to push it back.
The whole point is to realize that it is not you. It's an aspect that you're connected. You have strong energetic connection.
Yeah, or aspect is just a habit, kind of like,
And so we are connected to all the egos, all the nonsense, all the behavior, good, bad, and ugly is there in the here and now. And every time we get shifted and we feel something, we get connected to an energy, and then we have given a meaning to that energy, which then creates the feeling.
And also, like what Anna said, I found that the more I am getting aware of my judgments, the judging, the more they are coming. Because
it's coming up for you just to knock it off, knock it off, knock it off.
Yeah, and also like Anna, I've been saying F off. I keep saying, and then suddenly I'm saying it, loud, and just F off. But in a way, it's almost like a roller coaster now. The more you
try to tell it to go away, it's not good, because the more it will persist. Or you say, I hear you.
Yeah.
I have a choice. I can go to a different frequency. Yes? As soon as you feel something, say, I have a choice. Each and every moment. This is so important. Each and every moment. I'm reborn. I can choose. So then you start to choose, and you go and join whatever frequency that you have created, where the preferred you, and you will pick up that frequency from the future of whatever it is you want to call it, but it is all in the here and now. Questions?
I think it's when one of the questions was that, like, I know you've said that if you're in the present state, you can watch the news, you can watch the tennis, you can watch the football, anything you can watch.
Yeah.
But provided you stay in the present moment. But the minute you get triggered because somebody's doing this or somebody's doing that, and of course we're seeing a lot of that at the moment. But it's just staying in that state of
and being present with what is, and not having any judgment, and say, this is what's happening. No big deal. So when it comes to reincarnation, now what? You are just connected to an aspect of, say, Julius Caesar, Jesus, Muhammad, or Cleopatra. 10,000 people can be connected to Cleopatra because she's also existing now. It's only one aspect of you now that needs any Egyptian connection that you will then be connected to that person. And so with any other person, you getting it?
No. So what you're saying is, are you saying there is no reincarnation, or there is reincarnation?
Well, reincarnation I explained at that time of what that understanding is. I'm just saying is because from a human perspective, it has to be a past and a future. So yes, in a past life you got to say, but it's not a past life, it's a concurrent life that's existing now, which we are then connected to that energy source. But at that time, thousands of years ago, when we talk about reincarnation, we didn't understand energy medicine, frequencies. Got it? If you need any information of anything, okay, there's a big internet going on, right? Galactic internet. Information is being transferred all the time, okay? And different sources, different people are always exchanging information to gather what they need. So other people from a future self might need the things that we are having, so they can tap into our energy so that they can then learn from us. Got it? Just like we tap into a past.
Okay. So like we tap into the past to learn about the past so-called history.
Past history. And then we use it to go and live in the present.
Sorry, I have a question. So when we die, where are we going?
We don't know where. We don't die. We just change form.
So you change body, the energy stays alive.
No. We change form. So from a physical, you go back to energy, and then the energy would then decide what it is you're going to do. But in actuality, you're always jumping into different bodies that are already there, that you have decided.
So when we ask the question, where do we go? That's obviously coming from the human perspective of linear time.
Yes. Because there is the death, and there's it's coming from a human. Where do we go? But coming from spirit, you're going nowhere. You're already here. All is here. Nobody dies, do they?
But why I heard that they say that reincarnation, it's a trap because we're constantly being reincarnated in this matrix and we're just going through the lessons. It's kind of like a trap. And then
that is again another thing which they talk about, the karmic thing in many religions about reincarnation. But in actuality, if you are indestructible, it will all be part and parcel of the journey. And you will self-correct, just like the universe is self-correcting all the time. But there is no time factor. But because when you start to get into a linear time, you have to make it in the time factor. There's karmic, there's karma happening again. It will happen because we're self-correcting, isn't it? But we don't know when. But because we are not, the higher self is not in a linear thing, it doesn't really matter because it's working, it's multi-dimensional all the time. It's only when we become human, become a one-track pony, isn't it? Is this making sense?
So on the spiritual level, obviously we're not destructible. So on a spiritual level, we can decide our next stage in life, can we, on the spiritual side?
The soul is deciding all the time. Who are you? You are the soul.
Spirit.
You are the soul. You're not the human. The human is the projection of the soul. So it's the higher self. The soul is in control of everything. It creates everything. So now the training is to go up higher to start to look at things and understand, so everything makes sense then. Because before, like your question, Asako, is where do we go after we die? That is from where? From the human self, the basic level which the soul has created. The human is the projection of the soul, the dot and the circle.
Okay.
Is that making sense? Questions?
How does the soul decide how it's gonna come back? In like what form?
The soul decides everything. It knows everything. It's here for the journey, isn't it? So it wants to experience. So it creates what? A human to have the experience.
No, I'm talking about the next one. Like what defines the next stage of the soul?
The soul will decide again. You know, have I learned enough in this lifetime? Okay, I didn't learn enough this lifetime. Okay, in the next life, I'm going to do something else. It's always refining itself, redefining itself all the time because it has nowhere to go.
But doesn't it go in levels, for example, where you are spiritually kind of now, so you kind of don't lose it, right? Because the soul evolves,
now, okay.
That's your soul's journey.
At this level now is for you to find out what is it all about again. Push yourself to that next level. You've gone from the physical level to become so-called spiritual. Now to take yourself to the next level and see where you're going to go from there. Because it's never ending. So this is the next challenge. This is why I'm introducing this new way of thinking, so it takes you up to the next level, so we can get out with all the crap. What you give up, you get back. You know, is the spirit a human body going on a spiritual journey and all that bullshit? No, it's not going to. We've gone past that now. All right. Questions?
So basically, the soul vibrates, as we said, with the dot and the circle. The soul vibrates constantly.
Always. The soul is like a infinity of energy, bubbling.
It's like an infinity pool. It goes on and on.
And it goes on. And so likewise, not only the soul, the creativity, whatever it is, all is one is doing the same thing because we are all energy souls. And then we are playing.
Yes. Is there an end to that?
Somebody please help her.
No.
No, we are indestructible.
We're indestructible, Harriet. So there's never ending. And there's no beginning.
Right.
Yeah? So it's an ongoing thing. We're just here to exist. And in the existing, now you get clever and you say, okay, I understand the rules of the game. And this is where you create whatever you want. You don't get caught up in all the shit that's going on. Come on, some sharing, somebody some wisdom out of this and say, wow, haha.
So basically, if we get a thought of something that we would like to experience, will that happen?
Whatever you think is already here. The only thing that stops you making happening is because you're not vibrating at that frequency of what you have thought.
Right. Okay.
Everything is in the here and now. Every thought that you want, every desire, everything that you want is here and now. The only reason, which is invisible to you, because everything is vibrating on the different frequencies. It's like a radio wave. Yes. Unless you tune into that, you cannot hear it or see it. Yes? So you have to be of the right frequency if you say whatever you want.
Right.
And this is why, because of our expectations, we don't get what we want. Because it's there, but we're vibrating at a different level.
Because we expect something that is not happening, and by expecting it, we don't allow ourselves to be free and more relaxed and tuned to wherever we right. Okay.
Yeah, because we insist on it. So the insistence causes chaos again, isn't it? Resistance. Instead of saying, okay, I'm not ready for it. Okay, I'm going to try something else. And so the formula of following your joy is a great one because you are in the right space all the time. Whatever you do in little steps, you're very happy with what you are, and you get shifted too. But actually what happens is it is happening through you. Everything is happening through you. You're not shifted to anything because you are stationary. You put a picture out, and all the feelings and everything is going through you to give you the human experience. All you're there is stuck with your
virtual reality.
Virtual reality. Each and every one of us got our virtual reality on, and we have no connections to each other in whatsoever until we have an energetic connection. Then it appears in our screen. Go on. I mean, let's work on this now so that we can start to think differently.
Arram, so the only one that could like bring us joy or upset us or whatever is us. It all comes from the self.
From within, yeah.
From within, yes.
About 5 years ago, Arram asked me, how you've been, how was your day? And I said, well, I didn't have a good day. And he says to me, because you had expectations. And I thought about it, and I said, yes, you're right. I was expecting something to happen. It didn't happen, and I thought I didn't have a good day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There is never a bad day.
No.
It's we that created the day because of however we expect the day to be. You know, like, you know, such a big thing the weather plays on us. If it's sunny, we're all happy. If it's raining, we're all, you know, whatever it is okay. It's your state of mind, how you embrace what is out there.
How you deal with it.
Yeah. It's about how you deal with everything that comes, you know, that you are confronted in the now. What is? And our biggest challenge is whatever is being presented, we are really judging it all the time.
Arram, just to like linking that to something that has been going through my head today that I've been thinking about. So why, as a group, for example, one thing that I've seen, you know, is, and going to a lovely topic, why do we always talk about you know, like the COVID vaccine, for example, not being a good thing, and you know, generally the message has been that it's just a bunch of bullshit. However, if one of us were to get, say, a cancer or something that's deemed more sort of, you know, worse for the human body or whatever, why do we then choose to get treatment for that and not for COVID, for example? What, like that's one thing I was thinking about it today. It's like, well, if
okay, if you got cancer, yes, you would do the best in whatever circumstances, whatever tools what your belief structure drive you to do, isn't it? Yeah, some people will say, well, I'd rather die with a bloody thing, blah, 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 blah. Some people say, I will have chemo. Depending on whatever it is that you're going through is based on your belief structure. Now, for for any of us that any catch whatever it is, we would have a choice and say, all right, I'll go through the system, and if I die, it's okay because I understand I'm indestructible. I'll go through for the experience of it.
Go on, Tit.
Go on.
Well, yeah, you're probably going to say the same thing. So, you know, going back with what Vince said, then it's the same with the vaccine, essentially, with given the same. So if you have a vaccine, it doesn't really matter because you're going to die anyway, and you're indestructible. I mean, not going to die anyway, you're indestructible.
Yes. It's a belief structure, isn't it? But and this is the great thing. Now we got the Delta and Alpha or whatever is nonsense that's coming out from somewhere else, and it's going to kill you if you don't have the vaccine. Blah blah blah. It's more stories coming out. Yes, those worlds exist. Everything that we can think of is existing now. Is whether you want to be shifted into that TV station.
Yeah, it could be all the bullshit stories exist. Yeah.
If it's bullshit, it's not going to happen for you. And if it's real, it's going to happen for you.
I'm just wondering why we often tap into something like the vaccine and all this COVID stuff.
Okay.
But like I said, when it comes to another type of condition or something more, you know, severe, we've already got our images. I still think we're in the past with the idea that, you know, oh, if it's cancer, shit, I need to get chemotherapy or radiotherapy or whatever it is. Why do we not have that same perception that we do now about the vaccine, that, you know, it's bullshit, basically?
Because it's being played out so much in front of you, right? And you cannot turn now. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry around you is is vibrating at that space until you're strong enough to say, it's your world. Or you play along and, you know, oh, I'm so scared about it as well. And you say, fucking hell, you know, walk on and carry on with your life. It's a game.
You just worry yourself to death.
If people who believe in it, respect them and say, yeah, okay, don't go and upset people. Why is it so important now? Because of the mass consciousness, isn't it? The masses are very powerful. This is why we have to be vigilant.
It's a big learning for mass consciousness going on with this whole COVID. There's more to it than, you know, Yeah, you're asking what's the difference, right? Like when the cancer, yeah, I can't understand what you're, but it's kind of, there is a difference.
Cancer is not being promoted so heavily now.
Exactly, yeah, I'm like pushed
I mean,
everywhere.
years ago,
it's just,
every time the cancers come out, it's chemo. Bang, 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 bang. Cancer now is like, nobody talks about it. It's all about different vaccines.
Nobody talks about anything else at all. Yeah, exactly. All the flus are gone. Everything else is just gone. It's only COVID.
No other illnesses are mentioned that much. Seldom. I don't see any. It's all about COVID. So you buy into it. A very good example of you the other day when whatever happened, that you were going away on your weekend and then you got connected to an old aspect. Yeah. Every time you're going somewhere, you go into that state. And it's recognizing, hold on a minute, this is not me. It used to be Vince that time, but this is not this Vince, because this Vince has a choice. And this is what you have to say. This model here has a choice. It is not me. Is that making sense?
The new person. You're the new person all the time. New person.
Yes, yes. And so we don't talk about the past. And what is it we talk about most of the time? What is it you talk about all the time, Colin? Your past.
I'm full of it.
Yeah, you're full of it. And so what is it you become? You start to believe in those things. And every time you come and talk to me, what did I say?
Stop.
Don't go there. Questions?
Just to add, but Vince, if you're living in the past, if you're not living in the past, cancer's not a big thing either.
That's it. Because in the present, what it is now is what it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing now. Right this moment, in the now, we are perfect. Until we start to think 5 minutes later or 5 minutes after.
For me, this was more related to the when we were talking earlier about the fact that we've been, I keep forgetting the word that we use, but basically nurtured to think a certain way. And this is what I'm saying. So we as a group, for example, us 12 here, or however many are on, but we see COVID as basically from what I've seen, a big hoax, and it's all bullshit and blah 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 and whatever. But then I would potentially say that 9 out of the 12 of us would probably, if one of us were told we get cancer, holy shit, straight to the hospital, treatment, the full works. Make sure
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that if that's your belief structure.
But I'm just trying to understand why we've gravitated to one is bullshit and one is real.
Because it's all about frequencies in terms of how we understand it. If cancer, if you get cancer, all right, let's take myself as when my lung collapsed, okay? Took them. I had to go to hospital. I had to go through, and have the treatment, isn't it? I had to get them pumping all the things, otherwise I'll be dead. But I wasn't afraid to die, because without that treatment, without the oxygen, I will be dead anyway. So I'll say, let's give it a go. If I die, I die. But at least I'm giving it a go.
So again, this goes back to my point.
What's your point?
Why not the same again for a vaccine then? If let's give it a go. Why not give that a go?
Give it a go.
I'm just thinking out loud.
Nobody's saying don't give it a go.
Yeah, Vince, that's your, again, comes back to the belief structure. If you want to give it a go, you give it a go. Like I say, that I'm not going to have the vaccine, but I don't talk about it unless it comes up in conversation, and I try and ignore it. But I've also said, I've to myself, that if for some reason I need to have it, I have it. If I want to really travel somewhere, I want to go, and that's it. I'll have it, and I'm not going to think about it.
Yeah, it's disconnecting from it.
Disconnect from it. And the only reason why there is so much, as you said, why are we always talking about it? Because it's there, it's in our face all the time. You go out for a walk. Have you had your jabs? You go out into the supermarket and even the assistant behind will say, have you had your jab? And it's like, talk about something else. They don't even talk about the weather now. Oh, it's a
No, but I think Vince is saying why we have as a group a negative kind of like, oh, the vaccines, all that's bad, but we are okay for cancer. So that's what Vince is asking. Why as a group we have kind of gravitated towards more as a oh, it's bullshit, you know, it's
yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's about the belief system.
I
It's about belief system. So it could be we are the soul family with a similar beliefs.
We've created our own mass consciousness.
We create our consciousness, you know, our mini consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is then trickling into the masses.
Yeah.
Yeah. When then you got the masses, right, trying to grab hold of us, you know, it's a tug of war. But you know, between us, a small group of people, be strong enough and say, no, we can hold you. We can hold you. We're not going to be sucked in by the mass consciousness. Yeah, because we are affected 24/7 by the masses all the time.
And to the group, observe the masses and do the opposite.
Yes. Observe the masses and do the opposite. Yeah, and it's always something. I always look at things and say, okay, I noticed something. All right, you know, I will look at a lesson, I look at a lecture, or whatever it is. But you know, if it's longer than 30 minutes, I wouldn't even tune into it. Okay, so I'll listen to a while and say, okay, is it benefiting me? No, off it goes. How is it benefiting me? What is it when I'm listening to or watching? Is it benefit me at all? If it doesn't benefit, don't talk about it. I mean, like Asako, I said, you know, she tells me this, tells me that. I said, how does it benefit me? She said, no. And then she said, there's nothing to talk then. I said, you're right. But why do I want to know what you're doing at work? Why do I know what this customer came in and bought this and bought that? What has it got to do with me sitting at home? Oh, well, I'm sharing conversation because I haven't seen you all day. I said, great. Because it serves no purpose, does it? I mean, I've got to a state now, I will take you, but I need to take to be in the space. And then they said, well, there's nothing to talk. I said, silence is golden.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've been programmed and we have to talk.
Yeah.
This is making sense. And then your conversations get less and less. And when you open your mouth, wisdom always comes out from it, as opposed to shit.
The truth makes you feel better.
Yeah, if you say so. What truth? Whose truth?
My truth.
Makes you feel better. It might not make me feel better.
I didn't say it was going to make you feel better.
No, I mean, you say you're making statements. So I'm always here to challenge. Yeah?
Okay.
You cannot speak in a generality to a group. Your truth makes sense to you. It does not have to make sense to me.
What I'm saying is, when you speak the truth, you feel better in yourself.
Whose truth?
My truth.
Okay, so you know, fact for you, that's your belief structure.
Okay.
So that you know you can also lie and be good about it as well.
No, but honesty is the best policy. But like, look.
No. Stop all that shit. Honesty. Whose honesty?
My honesty.
That's it. Stick to your honesty, but don't generalize again.
All right then. I'll keep blowing it up.
Yeah, you're speaking on behalf of all of us. Sorry, you're speaking on behalf of you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And when you watch these politicians talk, you know, the royal we. I'm thinking, shit, royal we. We are planning this. Who is planning it? Statements or questions? This is very good, this exercise here today, because I'm forcing you to think in a different way now. That when you can start to picture that you are not your past, I mean, it releases you all the time. All the nonsense that you come up with. True or not true? Like, you know, I'm having a hard time. Oh, I've been programmed that way. Why do you keep repeating that? This is how life is. Why do you keep repeating that? What are you doing? You're endorsing it. You're getting stuck in that program again. Oh, it's difficult. It's hard. Why do you do that?
It becomes like a habit.
What's the Jabi?
Habit.
Habit.
It is a habit. So it's about what? Breaking the habit.
Unlearning.
Yeah, unlearning. Learning to shift into a different frequency. Recognizing what comes out from your mouth when you're saying something. And then say, no, 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 no. It's not me. It's an aspect of me talking. I can change. I choose to change. That really frees you.
No, I'm saying when one day you just don't judge for one day, you will see you'll be very quiet actually, because there's going to be much less to say things and talk when you don't judge yourself and others. It's just very little you will say.
I mean, when you stop judging yourself, then you will stop judging others.
Yeah.
Because we're always judging
both,
ourselves and we see the reflection.
Yeah. Can I just say, for me, on that judging exercise, it was very, very illuminating just how much I judged myself. And obviously, like you said, you judge everybody else around you. And because of that, I was feeling really a little bit depressed because of it all. But when I learned to just accept it and not to be judgmental of it, I've turned that negative chatterbox into actually appreciating what I am. And even when I'm not doing what I thought I'd be doing, I keep on saying to myself, it's okay, I'm doing the best I can. And it's helped my chest and it's helped my health a huge amount.
Yeah, and the more you do that, the more you stay in the present, what will happen is you are more natural and your energy field starts to work properly and your energy goes up. Who is it? Who else are working with today? Nara, right? Now this is a good one, yes? Nara over the past few days been saying that she's got all this tightness and everything, blah, 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 for 4 days. And then we had a session today and she sat in front of me and I said, describe to me what you have. And she said, I have this tightness, I have this tingling, I have this. I said, what is it you're having? Is it something that's squeezing your head or is it something that's tingling? And I said, I have this tightness. I said, if you keep saying it's tightness, it's going to cause tightness. I said, explain to me what it is. It's just like, it's some energy moving, something's tingling. So why can't you say, you know, I'm being energized? And when she started to shift, to say, oh yes, then she sat in it, in our session for 20, 25, 30 minutes, she sat in silence. I said, explain to me what's happening. Take a deep breath. And I said, what's happening? Accept the feeling. Because she wanted to get rid of the feeling. And she was giving a meaning to the feeling, a negative feeling when it's a positive feeling. Listen to this. She was being energized, and because she doesn't recognize it as a good energy, she gave it a bad name. And so what happens?
Yeah.
She created havoc.
Mm-hmm.
And when she sat down for half an hour, and I said, what are you seeing? Colors and coming and everything good. She's feeling wonderful and all that. I said, stay in it. Enjoy it. Right? And all of a sudden, her whole persona, everything shifted. I said, go and watch the video again and you can see the great shift. Why? Definition again, isn't it? Because you don't understand that a higher frequency is coming into you and you think it's some fear or whatever it is, and you become negative. How fast that shifts now. So another thing is, anything, any situations, whatever circumstances you're confronted with, take a deep breath and say, accept it. Yeah. And whatever it is, give it a positive response.
It's very easy to end up without realizing, unless you catch yourself matching other people's frequency as well. I mean, I was at the pharmacy today and I saw a guy leave from getting his jab and he collapsed on the floor because he got up too quickly. And straight away I matched that frequency and got really concerned and started sort of saying like, holy shit, like how did that happen? And then when I took 5 minutes away and 10 minutes away, brought myself back into the present. I think I did a short meditation or something, and it completely went. But I was feeling physical symptoms similar to him, because of what I'd seen.
You match it. You match his frequency.
Yeah. Is that what they call an empath then? Arram,
Sorry?
is what, matching somebody's frequency in
This
the
is
old
what they,
term.
this is what the empath used to say, you know. I'm empathic, I'm picking things up. You don't pick anything up, you match somebody's in.
Yeah.
You match
So
it.
can I just ask you, so I've got a friend, you've spoken to her, I think, her name is Tanuvial, and she has these like massive panic attacks.
Okay.
And she gets really sort of jittery and can't breathe and everything. And when I'm with her, I've done the exercise of saying to her, well, you know, where are you now? Look around you, just breathe deeply, blah, 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 blah. And for like, you know, 3 or 4 minutes, which is enough, isn't it, to shift your frequency? But because it's a habit for her, she'll fall into the like, okay, and then immediately she'll fall back into.
So you have to keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it to remind her to be shifting her back.
Present, yeah.
She needs to break the pattern.
Yeah, be present what you're seeing. Keep breathing. Look at me, and now look at me in the present with me. How you feeling? Fine.
Yeah.
Stay present with me.
What do you say when they turn around and say to you, I can't though, I'm really, really in, you don't understand. And
you say, okay, I understand it. Okay, now all I want you to do is, okay, just be present with me.
Right, okay. I'll try that one. Okay.
Yeah, because their mind is saying nobody understands me, blah, blah, blah. So you don't say that you don't understand.
Not to buy into their story.
Yeah.
Right? So you say, I understand, but just one thing I'm asking you is look into my eye, breathe, come on, in and out, in and out, be with me. So you are holding that space for her to come into your space.
Yeah, yeah.
As opposed to in most therapy, we go into their space and we lose control.
Yeah. You end up feeling as
we want to fix them. No, you stay calm first and you bring them into your space.
Yeah.
This is what I do all the time.
Yeah.
Right? I will never get you to move anywhere until you agree with me and you be in that space with me before I move you into the next space.
Right.
I'm in no hurry to heal you. There's no healing. It's about shifting into my space.
And when they carry on that mode, yes, then you kind of try to get them to agree to come into your space, and they're moving for a second and then they move out again. Then what do?
You keep repeating like you, isn't it? I mean, you keep going back into your mode. I mean, I've been looking at your track record with me. You have the most personal one-to-one with me. I thought, let me look at a few, and the same thing. Every bloody one is the same thing. You get stuck, and then you go on and on and on, and then all of a sudden you change, you shift.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's so strong. It's conditioning. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I agree.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's because of our belief structures.
Yeah.
That was your belief structure. You cannot be shifted. You know, you whatever, you've been cursed or whatever it is that, you know, you carry on for years with it.
No. I was going to say, at least it's good that I'm recognizing it now and moving out of it faster than I used to.
Good.
You know, I'm happier, and I'm actually quite content if people are upset with me. That's their problem.
That's it. It's their problem. It's not your problem.
Yeah. Whereas before it was my problem. Yeah, I was.
It's always your problem, isn't it? I'm the bad one. Yeah.
No.
If you love yourself, it doesn't really matter. If you accept yourself, don't judge yourself, then that's it. That's the way you are.
I'd never really been there. I'd never really been in a place where I accepted myself or loved myself for me. And
but you do now.
What have you just done now?
I reaffirm that. No, I take that back. I now love myself and see myself for what I am. And I'm actually quite a treasure to a lot of people.
You see how easy in the group when we start chatting, the language changed, and then all of a sudden say,
hold on a minute,
shifted.
Yeah.
Language is the most important thing.
And you look much better. You look happier.
It does look much better. It's more light.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go nearer to the screen so we can look at the lines.
Here you are. You can see all my lines. There you go. I'm not scared of them.
Actually, Hannah, I haven't seen you for about 6 months, and you
Yeah.
look different.
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a good way. You look lighter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's very important, you know, that each and every moment I'm a different person. Each and every moment I'm at the best. Each and every moment I have a choice. I can create the reality I want. I can create the person I want to be.
I was just saying, grasping the fact that I can actually create the happiness and the environment that I want has been such a gift.
Good.
It's a huge gift. Living where I live and living with my children now is a pleasure, and it's all good, all good. I allow them to F up when they do, and I'm compassionate when they want any advice or anything. But other than that, I'm content now to let them get on with their lives, because that's their business, it's their journey.
So another big thing is letting go, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's been huge, and thank God that I've managed that.
Yeah, not only of your children, letting go of everything.
Yes.
Because you come into this world with nothing, so you're not going to take away anything. So don't be attached to anything.
Can I share that one, Arram, about my mum's jewelry and how? I was just going to say it took a couple of sessions with you, and then it took a couple of sessions, well, quite a few more sessions with myself to actually be now comfortable with everything as it is, because my mother died and I didn't know she'd left her jewelry to my sister. I was really shocked because she promised it to me, and my sister turned up with it on her wedding day. And instead of just being like, oh, well, it is what it is, and being happy for my sister, I went into a real spiral. And thank God I have the group and I have Arram to understand that, like he says, we come in with nothing, we go with nothing. And
it's immaterial. It's immaterial.
Yeah.
Material world, yes. And I was talking to Nara, she was saying she was jealous because her cousin got another house. I said, at the end of the day, it's one bloody room and one bed you're sleeping in.
Exactly.
But it goes back again to being grateful and content with what we have in the now.
Yeah.
If we're content with what we have, what so and so has and what so and so does doesn't really matter.
It's not.
It doesn't affect.
Doesn't affect good luck, isn't it? You know, the people that have more always want more.
Yeah, good luck to them. That's their journey.
It's like Arram said, it was none of my business, really. Yeah. It is what it is. You know.
It is what it is, and if you stick to I have plenty, you don't care monkeys what they're doing, whether they have 100 houses or 20 houses, whatever it is. What's that got to do with me?
No.
Because I have plenty, just for today, just for today, just for today.
Yeah.
I have plenty.
And I've learned to deal with my brother, you know, because I had a bit of an argy-bargy going on there. Good. Because of their whole status thing and everything. But now he is who he is. I love him for the fact that he is who he is. And I interact as and when. I don't yearn for that closeness that I wanted before. Yeah. I'm okay for myself. I have myself, and I have what I have, and that's great.
Yeah, you're getting to know you, you're getting to love you better, and that's it. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Getting to know you.
And then you love everybody.
Correct.
You really do. It doesn't matter how they are.
Correct. But you know, when you don't love yourself, how can you love somebody else? Yeah. When you don't have compassion for yourself, how can you have compassion for other people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, even with my dad now, I can converse with him without being drawn into his drama, but just be compassionate for where he is. And just hold that space for him. And he's changed a lot now in the way that he interacts with me.
Because your energy has changed, your frequency has changed.
Yeah.
But that happens with everybody, whoever it is.
Okay. Shall I explain further then?
Yes, please.
The nasty, shitty father is still there. Okay?
Yes.
And you're talking to a different aspect of it.
Yes.
According to your frequency.
Yes, that's what you said to me. You said to me that, you know, everybody is, you know,
Yeah.
all of the other bits are still there. It's like my brother, yes, there's all those bits of him still there, but I don't see those now anymore.
No, because you're
I just-
because you're on a different frequency, so you're
Yeah.
seeing that person at a different frequency.
Yeah.
That's all. It's all frequencies, all matching frequencies. So
It's so
understand,
beautiful.
you don't change anything.
No,
It's shifted to. You don't change that person.
no.
You meet a different version of that person because of your frequency.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Can I just say on that frequency business, you know, I get stories, and I hear stories from my siblings of my dad being the way, like you just said, you know, the same grumpy whatever, but he's not with me anymore.
Because you're on a different frequency and you're meeting a different frequency of your dad.
Yeah. So thank you.
Start again. There's nothing there, okay? All frequencies are there, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Hana I'm talking to has got millions and millions of different frequencies. Depending on where I am, I'll be meeting that Hana in that frequency. All the other mad Hanas are still there.
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
And all the good Hanas are still there. And all the super Hanas are still there.
Yeah. That's true.
So what are you learning from this lesson then? Come on.
I'm learning that.
Not you, as a group, yeah? Okay,
right.
you can start.
Well, I was just going to say, I just learned that, you know, when I'm non-judgmental and accepting of myself, I see that in everything else around me.
Okay.
When I stop judging myself, I will stop judging others.
Okay. What else? Any Anna?
You match the same. Who you are. You meet who you are.
Yeah.
Meet who you are. I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because from moment to moment, you're changing, aren't you?
What you see is, and who you meet
It's a
is
mirror.
your own projection.
It's a mirror, isn't it?
Mirror is your
Yeah.
projection of your.
Your projection of what you see. Bobby, what's new in South America?
Tell us.
Yeah, about the news, I don't know because I stopped watching the news. It was like making me feel very nervous and freaking out. So it's, I don't know what's going about COVID outside. I'm okay.
Good.
So yeah, and about today, what I've learned was not to compare myself with others.
Right.
Because I like painting, and I was like, you know, like having a crisis. And I felt, oh my gosh, this one paints better than me. This one is doing this. I'm not doing this.
Okay. Are you starting with your groups there?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I'm still translating. Yeah. As soon as I can do this, I will.
Come on, we want Brazil to be with all the nice vibration you're going to share with them.
Good.
A painting, I assume it allows you to stay in the present very easily, no? Because you're doing something in front of you, you know. It's not like
No. Anything
Anything that you do that you're absorbed with will make
that
you
you
feel
are
good.
present with. Anything.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that it's a good tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're all good tools. Then now you say painting is a good tool. It will get you to be more present compared to other tools. All tools are equally the same depending on your definition.
Mm-hmm.
It's like cooking, sewing,
walking,
gardening. They're all the same.
Yeah.
I think any hobby, anything new you're learning, whatever, if you can, if you're enjoying what you're doing, it doesn't really matter what it is. Then
The most beautiful one was actually just walking and just being present, and walking in Richmond Park and being present to everything around. That was very, very beautiful.
Might be a good idea, Vince, for you to look at what being in the present means in terms of.
Yeah, I mean, I found my own tools, you know, that I used, of course. But I always define being in the present as the past and the what you would define as the past and the future, that they don't even come into play.
No.
I always say, and it almost sounds negative the way I would say it, but I always say, if I've got this sensation of I don't give a shit, for me, that's being in the present.
Yeah, it's like you're so focused and so immersed in what you're doing.
Yeah, nothing else matters. Yeah.
There's no time.
Nothing else matters except with what is.
Yeah.
And for you, Vince, even it could be like playing with your little one.
Yeah.
Then from one moment and going to the office, talking to people, there's another moment. You're shifting from moment to moment. What gives you joy?
Yeah.
Yeah? You're missing that point. What gives you joy with no expectation from moment to moment? It doesn't have to be big things. It can be for 3 minutes, it can be for 5 minutes, it can be for 1 hour, but it keeps changing. So you're always moving, becoming joyous. Next question.
Anything more addings to reincarnation?
Any more adding? Reincarnation is a connection to an aspect of an energy which has any purpose, you'll be connected to it. So they call it reincarnation. I'm always saying there is no reincarnation. It's always incarnation. You're always creating something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incarnation.
So this is why I say reincarnation is an illusion. However, at that time when they were explaining about reincarnation, it was on a linear time. You know, they have to go frame by frame.
Yeah.
You don't go by frame. We're going into multiple frames that you're jumping around. But when you go to frame by frame, you say that's the past, that's the future. Otherwise, there's no reference point of discussing something. So when they get connected to something which is 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and say, I was that person, or 100 years ago, I was that person, they are connected to that aspect of that person. No more different than from minute to minute. When you are jumping around, shifting in your different personalities, it's not you. You got shifted into that space. And space which you are comfortable with, or that you have the unconscious have created for you to bring that space so that you can change. But no, we become victim to it. You know, a lot of these things that is happening and it's so fast, it's also being created to test you, to allow you to change. You understand what I just said now? Yeah, you get triggered to change.
So you're reborn, and each time you feel like you're the reincarnation thing, you're just aligning to a different frequency of the past or whatever.
No, your frequency of something that's happening now, which you are using it for your growth.
Right. Okay. Got it.
So negative things also is for growth.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Right. Doesn't mean that it's only positive things you're going to collect from a parallel reality that's only for good. All things are good. Is there for a purpose for you to approach it in a different way.
Yeah.
For us,
reborn. Yeah, you're reborn. And when you understand that now that you have no past, you have no history, it allows you the tremendous freedom.
Yeah.
Every time you get with a ning, 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 this comes, hey, I'm connected to an aspect, an energy, which I was used to it, but I can change it.
Yeah.
So it's not as if, oh, we come up with the word, I'm addicted, I'm habit, it's a habit, this is how life is. All that is going to be eradicated because you are giving all the meaning to it. And it really frees you. Now, over the next month, right, or next few days, go around and think this way. I have no history. So every time, you know, you want to write something, I don't need to write it down. I have no history. That's happening to somebody else.
Yeah.
Or when a judgment comes out or whatever, no, that's not me judging, it's somebody else is judging. Okay, but thank you very much.
That's a great one.
Very nice.
So Arram, so is it as simple as tuning into a frequency of your choice?
Correct. This is what it's all about.
Happy choice.
I
And
have a choice.
untuning yourself when you realize you've tuned into the wrong channel.
Yeah.
Same thing, isn't
Change
it?
the channel.
Same thing,
change
you
the
know.
channel,
Just
yeah.
imagine that you got a remote control and then you watch something you don't like, you change it.
Yeah.
It's how, you know, we're going around and around with things that we've known before. It's only that every time we come up with different things to reinforce the techniques from different points of view, so that we, you know, every time we get rattled, you know, the latest one is, I have no history, so what the hell am I upset about?
What am I going to talk about?
What story am I telling myself? Yeah? What am I getting upset about? What story am I telling myself? I must tell myself a story again, because feelings must come from stories. You know, all these things got to be reinforced all the time. It's a way of life. You shift, and then you just in bliss, moment to moment.
Yeah.
Anything else? Otherwise, we'll say good night.
Okay.
Thank you. Good night.
Night. Thank
Night.
you.
Bye.
Good night.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.